Hello everybody. I am very excited to be back. The reception to my last video was far beyond my expectation, and I'm so excited at the prospect of making pen friends. So today I wanted to share the pens that I got from the Baltimore Pen Show, and also a little bit about the donation table, which I just learned about this time. I've only been to the Washington DC Pen Show before, and I didn't notice that table last time. But this time, there were a bunch of nice people that asked me to take as many ink samples as I wanted, which is great because I had over $100 of ink samples in my Goulet pens cart. But when this boon occurred, I decided that I would just try these out instead. And so next time I go to my next pen show, I know that I can also donate the items that I'm no longer using, which is excellent. So I guess to start, I got these 3 pens. They're all primary manipulation lights from Jonathan Brooks' Carolina Pen Co. table. He's a lovely, lovely man, and I am so thrilled to have these in my collection. I am kind of obsessed with this pattern, and I have 2 others, and they're all just so beautiful. So I think now I have every nib running the gamut except for extra fine, and so this one is a flex fine. This one is I think this is a bold. This one is oh wait, maybe this one's the bold. That one might be the stub. Let me try it out. No, this one is the stub. Yes. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, this one's a stub. And then this one is a medium, and they just all write beautifully. Of course, he let me come back multiple times to ask him to refine the nib and smooth it and then roughen it up a little bit to my liking, and I just think the colors are amazing. I need to well, I was about to say I need to just enjoy my pens, but I am so tempted by all of these at home kind of crafts people who use that same material to make other pens, and so I'm probably going to get one more. Hopefully not, but probably. Alrighty, so let's move on to the ink swatches. There's no particular order, and see, I also got 2 actual bottles. This one leaked, unfortunately. It leaked on one of my Hobonichi carriers instead of my handbag, which was nice. So I'm thinking that the material, because it's nylon, I might use some OxyClean to get that out. But anyway, why don't we get started with the ink swatches? So this is called Sea Glass, and it's from TKR, and thank you to whoever gave me the tip to shake ink samples before swatching. Here we go. Wow, that's a very interesting color. There's like some type of pearlescent gray in that. So it's called Oops, I don't think I have enough on all around, so let me just do that. TKR in sea glass. Wow, that is a super cool color. I really, really like that. It's so interesting. I don't know if you guys can see. There's so much color variation. So it's like a grayish blue with undertones of plum. That's the only way I can describe it. And I think this would look great with a thicker nib, which I'm excited because now I've got that stub. It's my first stub pen and I absolutely adore it. Okay, so that's TKR Sea Glass. And just see if there's anything else that I should be writing out here. Nope. Okay, on to the next. I love this idea of paying it forward. And everybody was so nice and urging me to take more, and I felt terrible because I didn't bring anything. I didn't even know the table existed. But I love the concept. This one is called KWZ Sheen Machine. I'm assuming from the name that there's not much glitter, so it's okay that I didn't shake it. I will try to remember to shake the other ones. So this one, yeah, this pen show was so much fun. I'm an hour away from Baltimore, and so it was a quick drive over, listening to some audiobook, and then when I got there, I just made a beeline to the Carolina Pen Company table, and there were two. I like to think of them as my penablers because they help me narrow down the options in terms of which pens to get, because he had quite a few of the, I think it's the primary manipulation light blanks that he uses for those, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so tempted though, because of course Wood Wonders of North Carolina, he just posted some incredible pens that will be up on his website for sale tomorrow. So I don't know. This is what happens when you get into this hobby. Get back into this hobby as an adult. All right, so this one is Noodler's V-Mail Mandalay Maroon. Okay, that sounds cool. Let's do a little swatch here. Ooh, it's a currant kind of color. I really like the saturation of this. You know, while I was there, I realized how much I love having this Kakamori pen, and what a game changer it is in terms of experimenting with various inks. Mandalay Maroon just makes it so much easier. You can test out so many different properties in a short time frame of the inks. Yeah, so this is just this is a pretty flat color. There's no sheening to it. But the Sheen Machine, that sheen, yep. I already have quite a few pens in that shade, or inks in that shade, so probably not going to get a refill of that. But the TKR Sea Glass is so awesome. Okay, I almost bought a sample of this, and so I was thrilled to see a sample at the table. This is from Wearing Ghoul, I Am a Cat. Now, from what I understand in reviews, or the reviews that other people have had Let me shake this a little bit because there is some gold at the bottom and I don't want to miss out on that. Oh, there's quite a bit of gold. Okay. Yeah, so it may not show up very well on pen kind of swatches, like, but people that paint with this, it just looks incredible. So let's see. Okay, it's a gray, that's the primary. Oh wow, there's just a lot of gold in here. Let's see how it shows up. In the writing sample. I mean, you can see it. I mean, the subtlety is just so impressive. This ink is very special, and as you layer it on, sorry, I've got something underneath. There's a business card that's making this circle difficult to draw, but I think, wow, that is really, really nice. I am a cat. Yeah, you can see it. I mean, even in the finest, I don't know if this is visible, but you can see the shimmer. Thank you again to the commenter who recommended shaking before sampling. That is very cool. I'm going to, I might ink something up with that. I'm gonna put the ink up pile. I'm gonna create a pile of pens to ink up. Okay, next is Diamine and Kindle. That's what it says on the bottle. Wow, there is a lot of glitter shimmer in here. I don't know if it's visible, but it is intense. So, wow, even that droplet is like full of it. What a color, that is magical. It's like the sun. Just the color variation, it looks like, oh my goodness, that is incredible. Diamond and Kindle. That is just so beautiful. I really love these flame colored inks. I think Noodlers has the something sunset ink, but this is just so cool. I love it. Oh my goodness, that one's super cool. I think I would like to paint with this one more than necessarily writing with it. We'll see how it dries in a moment. Okay, next. All right, this is Organic Studio Shimmer Jazz Hands. Oh my gosh, look at all that shimmer. There's like a ton of shimmer here. Okay, it's all in. Man, it's like everybody had such great taste too. All of these are just so interesting. I'm so fortunate that they, thank you to everyone that donated. Okay, so this is, okay, so this is a gray. There was a ton of shimmer in there, and I did shake it very well, so maybe it'll dry differently. Huh, I deposited a lot of ink right there. Let me, okay, so this one's Organic Studio. Shimmer. jazz hands. Just want to give the chance for the shimmer to come up. See, it's like darker than the Wearing Ghoul, I Am a Cat. This is multiple layers down here, so it looks like something similar through there. Man, this Tomoe River paper, even this new one, always impresses me. Just the idea that it can be so thin, but also withstand so much saturation is just so wild. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and before I turn the page, we will do a little inventory, okay? So this is the Sailor Shikiori Sakura Mori. I tend to like Sakura theme things, so let's see if this fits the bill. Alrighty. Wow, this is definitely a Sakura pink. Wow. That is just straight bubblegum Sakura. Okay, so it's Sailor Shikiori Sakura Mori. And let's see. So my thing with something that is a little bit lighter is the saturation. Like, it can be a little bit lighter of a color, but if it's not very saturated in a thin line, I typically don't like to write with it. It just, I don't know. Even though it's a very vibrant color in the larger swatch, for some reason it just does not speak to me. Yeah, it just doesn't. Okay, now we've gotten a little bit, let me stand up and see if I can bring this closer. Okay, so the Organic Studios, can you see some of that shimmer there? So that's darker than the Wearing Ghoul. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that the Wearing Ghoul I Am a Cat has more shimmer. But the writing sample on the Organic Studio shimmer shows up more. So I think I might be inking that up. It looks super cool. We'll see. I only have so many pens. So, or I only like to ink up so many pens at once, because otherwise my sense of, I don't like to call it OCD, but I just get worried about the pen mechanism, if I used up enough ink. Surprisingly, I've just gotten into Esterbrook's, and I use my Esterbrook broad nib all the time. It's interesting because I don't necessarily like the look of the pen as much as I thought I would based on pictures. I find that those pens in person are just, let's just say they photograph very, very well. But they're, in terms of like weight in hand and writing experience, it's just superb. Diamine Green Edition. This is an example of something that looks super cool, actually. I like how the color pools in the writing sample. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. Okay, that is also a contender. All right, let's put something down. Ooh. Let's use my Esterbrook bundle paper as the blotter paper and move on to the next page. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not. We're gonna do a new page because that is just too wet for me. Okay, next. Ooh, there's another Sailor ink, Yuki Akari. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I got it without, that was dangerous. Okay, there is no shimmer to this, so I think I'm in the clear. This is a pretty blue. Let's see what it looks like. So this is the Sailor. Yuki Akari. I mean, it's pretty. It's like the Sailor Shikiori Sakura Moon or Mori. Actually, that in the larger sample is gorgeous. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't necessarily like how it dries on thinner lines. That's why this swatching stuff is so fun. I would never know that. I mean, I had so many ink samples in my cart, and this is one of them. So I'm so happy I got to try it for free. Alrighty. The next one is Inkibara, number 241 Alice Red. I'm just gonna, it doesn't look like there's any shimmer. Let me just make sure I'm still on the screen. Oops. Okay, I moved over a little bit. Okay, let's get back. Okay, let's do this. Alrighty, Inkibara. What a cute name. Oh. For some reason, this makes me think of Dune or Arizona and the Red Rock Canyon. Okay, Inkibara, number 241, Alice Red. Huh. I'm wondering if this is supposed to be a reference to Alice in Wonderland. I would think it does remind me of the area around the eyes of the rabbit. Which might be an odd thing to say, but that's what it reminds me of. I mean, it looks cool. It's not really my color. Actually, it's probably Mars Red. I'm just seeing if that darker area by the E on the top, where the ink filled in the E, that does look very cool, but not for me. There is no shimmer to that. Okay, this is Colorverse ASGR. I don't know what that means. A sugar? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Okay, I know this is dangerous. I'm not playing it safe. High risk. Okay. I mean, it dries very cool. See, this is another example where the larger swatch is not as impressive to me as the writing sample. Oh, that's interesting. That's super. Did I get enough on there? I mean, it looks very dark in the. Nope. It's not very saturated at all. Well, that's not quite my taste. I'm not going to use this for painting. These actually remind me of my daughter's natural mineral paints. They're not terribly saturated, but if you layer them, you can get some nice variation. Okay, so this is another Inkibara. It's called Granite Green. That's interesting. It's only those super expensive fancy granites that are green, so we have Baltic Brown. But our cabinets wouldn't match this, although it is just so lovely. I love this. This is very impressive. I wish it. Let's see what the writing sample. Okay, this is number 13. Great. We're gonna have to wait and see how that dries down. I'm not sure about that. But this Inky Barra Alice Red looks pretty awesome dried. And the Colorverse A SGR, let me know if you are aware of what that's in reference to, the name. But yeah, I think the Inky Barra, surprising. Oh, the Alice Red, I mean. The Granite Green, I think you can't see it on camera very well. It looks very, very dark when I look on the screen. And the brightness is turned up, so I don't know. Alrighty, moving on. Okay, this is, make sure I'm back in the screen. Okay, this is called Private Reserve Plum. It's from Van Ness. It looks like a gorgeous plum color already in the bottle. We'll see. Oh, yep. Just like Welch's grapes. Oh, this is fun. Private Reserve Plum. You know, while I was at the pen show, I saw this group of women penabling one another. They were clearly part of like some pen group, and man, it would be so cool to go to the DC Pen Show with some pen friends next time. If anybody is planning to go to the show in August, hit me up. I am the only person who has this hobby among my friends and family. So this is Colorverse A CNC. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up what all. Clearly this is a naming convention that has some consistency to it, so I need to look that up. So the paint sample, or the larger sample, there's a lot of cool variation in it. So it runs from a very light blue to kind of like turquoise, and then it looks like it's going to dry slightly purpley. I'm going to set that aside as a definitely want to try in a pen. It looks very, very nice. Kind of reminds me of a coming storm. Ooh, so this is Robert Oster Green Lady, and there was a ton of shimmer in this one. Wow, I like this. This is so fun. This is what I'm talking about. This type of saturation is my favorite. Just So, so pretty. Robert Oster. I think let's see. I have something like this because I have a whole bottle of it. It's from Platinum. I use it all the time. I wonder if it's even more saturated. So I think that's what I got wrong. No, never mind. No, here it is. This is Platinum Mixable Ink Green. That's what I have. This is very similar. I think they're very, very similar. But I'm happy to have this. I always have this inked up. I always have something pink, kind of magenta-y inked up, and then something green. And then unintentionally, I seem to always have a turquoise with a reddish shimmer or red glitter inked up. That is not intentional. Yeah, that's lovely. There's a little sheen to it too. Oh, this definitely is in the keep and try. This may, after the Platinum empties, this is the most I've ever used of a bottle. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's like, it's halfway used. Sorry. Yeah. So this one is the Monteverde Purple Rain. Rain as in reigning over a kingdom. So it's not an allusion to Prince. Oh, that's cool too. So I'm wondering if it's going to dry like the Plum from Private Reserve, because that started out not so jammy. We will revisit after everything's dried. Purple Rain. Oh, that's fun. I think this green lady may be, I mean, it just makes me think of shamrocks and happiness. It's so cool. I love that. Okay. Next, we're going to move to, oh wow. Yeah, I will do close-ups of all of these, and then you guys can see. Actually, let me do a close-up right now so you guys can see some of it. So that plum, there's no shimmer to it, but that color verse, look at how neat that is. And definitely, there's just such a complex color. I really enjoy that. And then this green lady, I hope, can you see the shimmer? It's so pretty. So it's saturated and shimmery. It's a little flatter on the screen than it is in real life. And then the Monteverde Purple Rain. I think it does some interesting things around the edges. Okay. We are coming down to the final, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's still a lot, but I make long videos apparently. Okay, this is the Iroshizuku Murasaki Shikibu. Okay, so this is a purple. It's kind of flat. Be interested to see. Okay. Shizuku. It's doing some interesting things in the writing sample. Made that a little bit thicker. Let's see. Okay. We'll see how that looks when it dries. apparently that is the trick. I mean, I've watched enough swatch videos from other people to know that that's really important. Ooh. This just seems to have such a creamy formula. I don't know how else to describe it. It doesn't feel as, I don't know, it feels different from the other ones that I've done. So this is the Pilot Iroshizuku Ink Kujaku. So, Iroshizuku Kujaku. I can just imagine like kanji or Chinese character calligraphy with this ink. It would just, I think it would be gorgeous. It makes me think of the blue that I've seen in a lot of the shanshui hua, or the mountain water kind of flower traditional Chinese paintings. They are around the edges where it pools. It just creates such interesting lines. And it's a teal color without a red tint, which is rare for me. This is called Pannonia Ink Laboratory. Oh, no, it's called S-011, but it's from the Pannonia Ink Laboratory. I can't quite tell what this color is. It's probably like an orangey, kind of marmalade color. Let's see. Oh no. Huh. So it looks like, it's like a, I don't know how to describe this color really. It's like in between like a mustard and a more kind of yellow based color. I mean, I like it. It just makes me think of leather. I mean, that's that's a very poor description, but it does. There's something about it, the texture and the way that the ink pools. I love it, actually. It's very, very pretty. Especially, I'm surprised with the writing sample that you can see so much color variation with such a small, like such a thin line, you know? Okay, that's definitely, I might need to start like keeping track of what's like currently inked up so that I can try more inks, because I'm just used to, I'll just get in a rut otherwise and keep using the same 3 inks. Okay, this is Iroshizuku Tsukushi. So this is a plum brown. I know that was supposed to go on the other side, sorry. Wasn't paying attention. I was paying too much attention to the pronunciation. Tsukushi. Let's see if we do something super thin. So I'm very excited when we come back to this page, because I just think the way that these inks are drying, there's just much more complexity to it than I expected. This one would be so cool if the edges dried slightly darker. I wish there was like, that would make that one super cool to me. Okay, and this is Robert Oster Blood Moon. I don't see any glitter at the bottom or shimmer. Let's get the blotter paper for the time being. Okay, so this is Blood Moon. Okay. So that's the last of the vial samples. Okay. So less warm. Blood red. So Blood Moon is very aptly named. So I typically have better penmanship, but I actually really enjoy seeing the variation in the line width, and so, I mean, this book is just for me. And it's been a wonderful resource so far in terms of helping me pick inks. And I do find I'm using my pens more often, which is so rad. Okay, this is Kobe ink. Number 30. It's for fountain pens. Okay, wow. This is like a very pink. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, this is also a very Sakura-esque. Let's see how it writes. I like this a lot. It's like a highlighter pink, but not quite. So it's super saturated. I'm actually gonna keep this bottle. I thought that I would just take it to try the ink sample, but I like it. I mean, I like this larger, I do like this larger sample, and you'll see in a moment when I'm done swatching the variation in that. But just in terms of writing, this is just much more vibrant than what I'm looking for. I do love the saturated ink. I like color variation where it pools, not a shimmer for shimmer's sake. Okay, so this is Organic Studio 7N14. Is that a chemistry illusion? Okay. OSN. Organic Studios N. Okay. Nitrogen Royal Blue. Okay. Oh, it definitely is blue. Oh, that is a very kind of royal purpley blue. It's a very wet ink. Let's see how it writes. It says nitrogen, so it makes me think that there's going to be some crazy shimmer. So I think that's this is why, though I am tempted to purchase a lot of their inks, I feel like it's a lot of the inks are very similar to me. Okay, so those are all the ink samples. Let's let this guy dry, and as that's happening, we'll just go over everything that I swatched today. So this is the TKRC glass. I think that just is such an interesting color variation. I've never seen an ink like that. I'm definitely going to ink that up. This is the Sheen machine. Noodlers female. It is very flat. It's a very flat color. This is the Warringal I'm a Cat. I think the writing sample is not that impressive, although it's very shimmery on the larger circle. This is the Diamine and Kindle, which dried, you can't really tell as much how cool it looks, but I think if you painted with it, look at that, that's so cool. This is the Organic Studio Shimmer Jazz Hands again, so that is not as shimmery. Oh, I wish you could see. Can you see? This is very shimmery, like the writing is very shimmery. This is the Sailor Shikiori Sakura Mori. See, that's what I was saying about the variation. It's like there's some orange and yellow in there. And then the line looks kind of interesting, but the writing sample it's just okay. And then this is Diamine Green. Olive Swirl. I like this a lot. I mean, I think this is an example where the writing sample really rocks and shows the ink. And then next, this is the Sailor Yuki Akari. I like the larger sample, but the writing sample, the ink doesn't speak to me. Whereas this is the opposite. I think that this is just, it's so cool in real life. It's almost like got like a really dark brown outline. I don't know if you can see it here. And then this is the Colorverse SGR. I'm not going to hazard a guess, but that's, I mean, if you like that type of tone, that kind of less saturated tone, that's it. I mean, it's a lovely color, it's just not for me. And this is the Inkbara Granite Green. It looks dark green. So it's like a green black or black green. This is the Plum from Private Reserve. It's pretty, but it's not that interesting to me of a color. Whereas this Colorverse, like all three are very interesting to me. The writing sample, the line, and then that just looks so rad. And as I said earlier, this is going to be perfect for St. Patty's Day. And then this is the Monteverde Purple Rain. I mean, it's very saturated. It's super pretty. This is the Roshizuku Murasaki Shikibu. This is the Kujaku, which this sample right here is very impressive. And then this is the Pannonia Ink Laboratory. It may be my favorite ink, although I struggled to find words to describe it. And then this is the Roshizuku Tsukushi, which dried super interesting. I don't know if you guys can see. There's like a little around these like pulled areas. It's green. I mean, it doesn't show up in the writing sample. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't show up in the writing sample, but that's super cool if you're drawing with it. And finally, the Robert Oster Blood Moon. I mean, it's very aptly named. And then this is the Kobe ink, which is just super fun, bright. And then, yes, this Organic Studio Nitrogen Royal Blue. Yep, that's super cool. So, thank you again for joining me. I'm so surprised that Anybody watched my last video? I love learning from everybody else, and if there's other inks that you think I should try, or if you're interested in any of these samples, I will list at the bottom which ones I am not going to keep. And if you're interested, if you'll just pay shipping, I will send that to you and a sticker. Okay, bye.